weather is the big story again today. Millions of people across Florida and the Caribbean still have zero power in the aftermath of Hurricane Irma. Now the combination of no air conditioning and the oppressive heat of Florida and the Caribbean making conditions even more dangerous. Mola Lange has the very latest on a disturbing discovery that happened just this morning.
Elderly residents were evacuated this morning from a Hollywood, Florida nursing home that lost power during Hurricane Irma. Police say 3 patients died at the facility and 2 at a hospital.
We believe at this time they may be related to the loss of power in the storm.
Police have started a criminal investigation into the deaths. They did not say whether the facility had air conditioning when paramedics were called early this morning.
As we arrived on the scene with our fire rescue crews, we saw that there were a number of people in respiratory distress.
Across Florida, 4.4 million homes and businesses still have no power. Florida's biggest utility lined up repair trucks this morning in the Miami area, but officials say it could be more than a week before electricity is back for everyone. Power outages also remain an issue here in Jacksonville. More than 800 utility workers are trying to restore electricity to the more than 100,000 customers who woke up today with no lights and no air conditioning. Hurricane Irma first made landfall Sunday in the Florida Keys. When residents of the lower Keys are finally allowed to return, they will find almost total devastation.
The surge came all the way through here, broke the doors.
The Weckworth family is working hard to get their family bar and restaurant on Isla Mirada open again.
We want somewhere for people to go during this hard time, to just a little stress-free environment.
Most homes in the Keys have no power and there is practically no cell phone service or internet. Mola Lange, CBS News, Jacksonville, Florida.
Now, if you would like to help support the recovering efforts and bring hope to storm residents in Florida and even Texas, we're partnering with the American Red Cross. You'll find a link on our website at NewsChannel5.com. All right, locally, it's day 3 of the Holly Bobo murder trial. Our Chris Conti is at the courthouse in Hardin County. And Chris, already this morning, more testimony from a couple of people giving very specific details about the search for Holly and the accused, Zach Adams, right?
Yeah, Steve, we've basically had a parade of witnesses here all morning long, about 5 or 6 of them, all of them in some way connected to items that were found belonging to Holly. We heard from a man who found Holly's lunchbox a few years ago, another man who found some receipts belonging to her that coincidentally happened to be near Shane Austin's home, which was one of the men who used to be accused in this case before he took his own life. We'll take you into the courtroom right now where Larry Stone is testifying. You may remember him from a few years ago. Larry Stone accidentally broke this entire case wide open. He was out searching for ginseng in the woods near his home in Camden when he stumbled upon Holly's skull and some of her remains. We still to this day have never actually heard, aside from the skull, what kind of remains were found out there. Larry was told by the TBI all those years ago that he was to remain tight-lipped about all of this. But when we interviewed him back in 2015, he was very emotional about this, understanding the severity and the weight of what he had found, telling us that he has a daughter around the same age of Holly. He got very emotional when he talked about the moment that he says he found a bucket out in the woods where this skull was, turned it over, and then made that gruesome discovery. We will have much more from him and some of the other witnesses we're expecting to hear from later on in the day. For now, we are live in Hardin County. Chris Conti, News Channel 5. Steve, back to you.
All right, Chris, thank you very much. In other news now, a man wanted for a 2014 murder was booked into the Nashville jail earlier this morning. In February, police named 20-year-old Takyrus Sims as a suspect in the murder of Jorge Garnica. Garnica was found shot to death in the front steps of his apartment building on Edmondson Pike back in 2014. Cold case detectives developed Sims as a suspect. Police say he was only 16 at the time of the shooting. This morning he's being held without bond. Police already arrested one person in this case. 20-year-old Shaquay Dodd was charged with murder and robbery last April.